Thanks, Chairman. Of course, it's ironic that you're chairing this session, being one of the people who's warned about the huge challenge of private debt, of mortgage debt in this state, and you've evangelised about this issue for a long time now.
Chair.
Absolutely. In relation to the first part of this, housing, I think any layperson looks at all of this in bewilderment. We had a situation where not so long ago we were buying turnkey housing developments, full housing developments at full market value, and doing that right across the state. And now, of course, we know that houses across the state have halved in value. So that simple rule of thumb in economics, that at a time of recession, that's the time where the government should intervene. A, because it creates jobs. B, because you get the best possible deal for the taxpayer. And C, because it prepares your economy for the turnaround. We clearly should be buying houses now at this stage and purchasing all those empty ghost estates for social housing across the state, because they're coming in at half the price they would have been years gone by. But we're not doing that. What we are doing is going for 10-year leases. And so we're not dealing, we're going for 10-year leases. We're getting a crazy economic proposition for the taxpayer in all of this, and that's because of the overall absence of a strategy. Sinn Féin has said repeatedly we could look at the National Pension Reserve Fund, twin with the European Investment Bank potential, and of course private pension funds. Not just us have said this, of course you have ICTU, and Sinn Féin talks about a 13 billion stimulus package over 4 years, and of course one key area would be social housing. You see, there are solutions if we're brave enough and imaginative to look at them. 100,000 people on the list at this stage, a real crisis. Moving on to the next issue, is that one of the deputies who just spoke says that it's only a small amount of people affected by this mortgage distress. That's an incredible statement for a deputy to make. One in four mortgage holders are in distress. That's 168,000 households approximately. Now, if you just took one representative from each of those households, not the entire family, just one representative, that fills Croke Park twice. That's the scale of this crisis. Any deputy who has their finger on the pulse, who listens to their communities, who's in their constituency offices, knows this is a crisis. I can tell you, I could stand here for the next 2 hours talking about conversations that I've had with families in Donegal, people who are ringing you late at night in total dismay and distress, asking, should I hand the keys of the house over? Should I do that? Impossible situations put to you. And think about this. These were just ordinary 5/8s, just like me. No experts in the economy a number of years ago. And we believed the economists. We believed our politicians at that time. We believed all the hype in the newspapers. You couldn't open a newspaper without seeing a property supplement and, soft landings and prices can only go up and buy now while prices are at this level. You'd be crazy not to. That's what people bought into. They were totally betrayed, and they've remained betrayed because there's no solution. Which moves me into my final comments. The personal insolvency bill. I sat through, I would say, by the end up possibly 17 or 18 hours of debate, in terms of the committee stage and here in the Dáil. And on the final night we discussed it, something very symbolic happened. We had the so-called public interest director, Ray McSharry, with the permanent TSB, telling my colleague here, Deputy Pearse Doherty, there'll be no write-downs. This is the public interest director telling us there'll be no write-downs, absolutely not going to happen. And then we have Patrick Honohan telling us that he's tearing his hair out because the banks will not go after this debt. I mean, seriously, people at home must be totally bewildered. All of the tens of billions we've put in to these banks. Today, we have AIB saying they're going to increase their variable rate. We own it 100%. And people are just totally bewildered that there's been a solution for all of the bondholders, all of the extremely wealthy gamblers who were so reckless. But our people have been betrayed here in the state. 1 in 4 mortgage holders. It is an absolute fundamental crisis, and it needs to be addressed in a very, very focused, urgent and determined fashion.
Thank you.
And hopefully our motion, which is full of solutions, not just identifying the problem, we always come forward with solutions. At some point, somebody needs to listen, and somebody needs to realise that the Emperor is wearing no clothes.
Thank you.